is up, guys? It's Fahad Coding here, and today we're going to be going into how to code a monitor bot. Stay tuned, guys. Here's a sneak peek of a code and what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and enjoy the edit.
From the north side. We started some cold shit. And we run it. No more of that game stuff. I'm done with that.
Alright, so first we're going to open up terminal, and let's cd desktop and ls to view the files we have, and let's create the file we're going to be using for this project, ps5 stock.py. So now that we've created it, ls again, and we can see the file has been created, and now let's vim into it. Open up a new tab in the terminal. We're going to be using that for compiling. So import random, we're going to be doing this for the headers. Import requests to make the request to the different websites. Import sys, we're going to be using that just for color coding our output. And I'm importing beautiful soup because we're going to be doing some web scraping, obviously, to see if the item's available for the monitor. Date and time, we're just going to be using that to log our information in the console. So I'm creating a class right here, stock status, and we're going to have a user agent list. Simply doing a Google search for what my user agent is, I'm able to get that, and we're going to put that into the list. So for Safari is different, and for Chrome is different. So ideally when we're making requests, we're going to want to use different user agents passed in the header. So it's just going to add another level of anonymity, so it's going to prevent us from, being detected and making requests from the same browser user agent. So I'm just testing it out, seeing we don't have any errors or anything. So I'm creating a dictionary for the different stores we're going to be putting in here. So for these different stores, we could basically encase it in a list as well to hold information for that particular store. So right now I'm opening up Safari, going to Best Buy, and let's look at the different PS5s they have in stock. So all of them are sold out, obviously, and we're going to basically want to check what details the webpage can provide us. So we're going to obviously need the URL for the product. We're going to need the selector to get that text, and what text it should show. So for example, right now it says sold out. We could put add to cart because that's what it's going to be when it's available. And the title is just going to be, Sony PlayStation 5 console. Just in case we want to use this for some other projects, we could import this class and use it. The title will be useful if we want to import it to like a Discord bot or something. We could just, have it send the information of what's available with the title and everything. Right now I'm just doing 4 different items from this Best Buy website, and we're going to be now getting the information. So we're going to need to firstly get the selector. So for Best Buy, let's get that. We're going to firstly want to inspect the element, and I'll show you guys how to find it. So for the URL, I'm just going to paste that in first. Right, and the selector, what we're going to be doing is using that to web scrape. So right now I'm going to go Control F and find the text sold out. So in sold out we can see the class add to cart button. We're going to be using that as our CSS selector, and that's basically going to be using, we're going to make a method later on, and we're going to use that as a parameter and pass that in alongside with the URL, and we're going to basically web scrape that information in that button, and we're going to search for the text add to cart. So right now I'm just replacing the text add to cart with text. Okay, so yeah, add to cart is what it would show if it was available. Alright. And I'm just going to put in the different informations for all the various consoles. You guys can do this on your end as well with any website you want. This can work with, sneaker bonding, making a monitor for that, monitor for foot sites, and any website really. This could all work. It's the same logic as follows. I'm only doing Best Buy right now, but if I wanted to, I could also incorporate other websites. you might view, the selector and the text as regurgitated code. I know it's in the list. However, if we're doing different websites, the selectors would change, so it would be good to encapsulate that information within our dictionary. So right now, I'm just putting in the different consoles I want to monitor, essentially.
Some cool shit.
So we have a dictionary, and each dictionary key is essentially holding its own set of its own list, essentially, which has its information associated with that particular item. So right now I'm just doing Cyberpunk, the disc. This is obviously available. We could purchase this now. So right now I'm using this as a test item. So because all the other items are going to be sold out, I'm using this as a test item to actually show that, if an item is available in stock, it will show in the monitor. Right now I'm just doing set numbers so we could see the line numbers associated with the code I'm writing. Alright, so yeah, I did have an error there, and I resolved that. Alright. Okay, so now we could get started defining the function. So we're going to want to get the carrier, basically. And as I was mentioning, we're going to need the URL and the selector. So right now the user agent is gonna be randomized, so from that list of 2 it's just gonna pick a random one. I mean, you could look online and find a list of user agents, and we could use that. So the headers, we're gonna be passing that into our request being made, and we're making a get request essentially right now with that URL, and we're passing in those headers. So it's good to have it randomized. That's why we're using random user agent. We could also incorporate proxies as well, which would also prevent us from being detected as well. Right now I'm using Beautiful Soup to actually parse that information. So I'm basically everything in that button that I just showed you to inspect element, we're going to get that information and it's just going to return it to us. So we're just going to be using that information. So this method is solely for getting the information from within that selectors. So right now, get status, initially when I was working through it, that's my logic through it, but don't worry about this method. It's completely useless. I didn't even end up making a call to it. You'll see in the run check method I do incorporate similar logic. So don't worry about the get status method, just completely ignore that. That was just my initial logic walking through it. This was a live session I was doing, and if you guys are interested in more, please feel free to comment down below. So right now I'm self.storage, we're getting each item, so the key is each item in the array. So Best Buy 1, Best Buy 2, Best Buy 3. 0, as you guys saw, that's the index for the first item in the list, so we're basically passing in the URL. If you look at the get carrier method, the parameters are the URL, so we're passing in the URL first, and then 1 is going to be the selector we're passing in. So we're essentially using those index values to make a call to that method. Right now I'm just looking up some ASCII color codes, and they're just going to help us format our terminal so we could easily view that information. So I'm pasting in that ASCII color code, and I'm using the F string right now, and that's basically going to help us format our output to the terminal. I mean, you could format this however you want. This is just me using the date and time, as I mentioned before, just to log the information so we could see what time the item was actually available, what time it wasn't available. It's just going to continuously log it through the terminal. And this is how you use the F string as well. If you're not familiar with it, you would use those curly brackets, and it would run the code within those curly brackets. I'm just going to copy this code because we're going to use it again in the else statement. The thing that's going to change is 32 is obviously going to represent the green terminal output, and the else statement we're going to represent the output if it wasn't found. So that's going to be red. So we're going to change that. Alright. So yeah, the top is going to be green and the bottom is going to be the red. You'll see that when the program compiles and runs. So now that we have this done, we're just going to make a call to the method itself. And let's just create the object of this class, and let's make a call to it. So this is as simple as that. We're making a call, and W to save it, and we're going to clear the terminal output and run it, and you guys could see the PlayStations were out of stock. However, Cyberpunk was in stock, so it did log that in our console, and it shows the date and time, and it's a well formatted output, and it works flawlessly. So you guys can implement this however you want. The limitations are endless. It doesn't have to be solely for PlayStation, but I did manage to get my PlayStation using this. But yeah, enjoy.